This right hand by Lonnie Smith landed as he was going backwards. Did land, but didn't do the damage the earlier punches had done.
2 out of the first 3 rounds you have to give to Lonnie Smith. Costello won the first round on our card, but Smith with 2 knockdowns of Costello in the second and some cagey boxing in the third. An early lead on our cards. Most unofficial. Oh, and Costello nearly fell through the rope.
That was because
no knockdown.
He was off balance, but it shows you how Smith is keeping him off balance in this fight.
Costello has looked confused from the second round on, and we are a minute into round 4.
He has not been able to cut the ring off on Smith and corner him as he would like. Good left hook again by Smith. I am surprised that that's been such an effective weapon for Smith.
Oh, and here's Costello responding, and Smith just runs out of that trouble.
And I mean runs. Lonnie says, I do not want to be on these ropes, and I'm not afraid to run out of here. You know, in all the fights I've done with Smith, and there have been maybe 8 of them in the last couple of years, he has constantly said, I can win this title and I can win it sooner than people expect. I will frustrate whoever I fight when I fight in the title. So far, he's making good on that promise.
And you didn't buy that promise coming into this fight, did you?
Well, it wasn't that I didn't think he had a chance. I thought he had an opportunity to win, but you have to wonder because Costello is such an experienced guy, and still wonder because this fight has a long way to go. But certainly Smith is proving very much that he belongs in the ring with Costello.
So perhaps for Lonnie Smith, it was not as big a step up as many of us thought it would have been. I want to remind all of our local stations that at the end of the round, we'll be taking a 1-minute commercial break locally, with 1 minute to go now in round 4. And once again, more in frustration and off balance than anything else, Billy Costello falls to the mat, but no knockdown.
Lonnie Smith may be doing himself a disservice, though, Charlie, because he hasn't been that busy in these rounds. Of course, then again, neither is Costello. But Lonnie's going backwards, and often the judges, even just when they see a guy going backwards, hey, he's quick. He wants to get out of there. The fans don't like it very much, though.
In the first round, Billy Costello's face showed no emotion whatsoever. Since the second round, there's been a look of perplexing. It's been a perplexing look more than anything else on Costello's face. He looks confused and frustrated.
He's following Smith around the ring. Has not been able to corner him.
Now, right, come on, we're good, come on. Very good.
And we will be coming right back for round 5 from Madison Square Garden in New York. Right after this word. Come on. Charlie Steiner along with Al Bernstein ringside from Madison Square Garden. We are in round 5 of the WBC Super Lightweight Championship. Billy Costello, his title on the line against Lightning Lonnie Smith. Costello was decked twice in the second round. Joining us at ringside is Tom Hauser, who has just written a book called The Black Lights. In essence, he has been spending the last several months, if not years, with Billy Costello. Costello has never tasted defeat. He's never really been as frustrated, perhaps, in the ring as you've seen him tonight, Tom.
No, this fight is not going the way Billy Costello had planned. He had hoped in these early rounds to pressure Lonnie Smith, tire him out, come on strong in the late rounds. And so far, Billy's been frustrated.
Knowing him as you do, Tom, how will he respond to this kind of adversity that he's experienced so far?
He's very stoic. He hasn't panicked. He goes back to his corner. He tries to find out what he did wrong and not make the same mistake again.
Well, he made it twice in the second round.
Well, right now, I think what Costello wants to do is get that left hook in. But look at Smith. He looks at the rope. When he looks down at the canvas, you know what he's getting ready to do? Throw a right hand. That's his trademark. He looks down. You wonder what he's doing, and all of a sudden, boom, here comes the right hand.
Valenzuela looks skyward before he delivers his pitch. Lonnie Smith looks at his feet before he delivers his. And want to remind our local stations that at the end of the round, you'll have that 1-minute commercial break. Halfway through round 5, and Costello is nailed again.
And again, it's the left hook.
And again he's nailed, and Costello is down. It is the 3rd time he's been knocked down tonight. The first here in the 5th. A look of frustration and dejection on the face of Billy Costello.
And it's astonishing that the left hook's what's doing it. But boy, give Lonnie Smith credit. He's quick with that punch. It's not known as his power punch.
Lonnie Smith. Again, a solid right hand. The left connects, but barely.
The hand speed of Smith right now is too much for Billy Costello.
This is the first time Costello has defended his title outside of his native Kingston, New York, and the way it's going, it may be his last.
Well, Bill Costello said this would be a 6-round fight, rounds 7 through 12, and he's obviously still hoping that prediction will come true.
I'm amazed that with those wild left hooks that Lonnie Smith's able to get them in, but they're still quick. Even though they're wide looping punches, he's so fast, he's able to get those in over the right of Costello. Boy, and if Billy Costello was hoping this would be his coming out party and show people he's the best junior welterweight in the world, right now it's not working out that way.
And we'll be back for round 6 from Madison Square Garden right after this word from our local station.
Here's the left hook by Lonnie Smith. And this left hook landed perfectly. It was a wide punch, but it got him down.
Round 6. A major upset in the making. We had Costello. Oh, and we got a whirling dervish there in the middle of the round. We have Costello winning the first round and Smith 2 through 5. Costello has been on the seat of his pants 3 times. Twice in the second, 1 in the 5th. You just saw the replay a moment ago.
Smith right now is just too quick for Billy Costello. I think you see how weird Smith is when he moves away. He had his back to Costello, but you can't catch him.
Costello has never been fleet of foot. He is a flat-footed fighter. Smith on his toes.
This is more power than Lonnie Smith has shown in most of his fights. He's had some KOs, but really only 2 in 1984 in 6 fights. In his last fight, a win over Joey Solar by decision. And believe me, Joey Solar is not Billy Costello, and he had to go 10 to beat him. Good left hook by Costello. The first good one he's gotten in a long time.
Tom Hauser, who is with us here at ringside. What do you suppose is going through Billy Costello's head? Everything has gone wrong so far tonight.
What Billy Costello has to tell himself now is that part of being a world champion is sooner or later you know you'll get your man. He'll try to come to the body with left hooks and wear Lonnie Smith down.
But he hasn't been successful really at all.
Not so far, although this isn't so far different from the pattern of some of Billy's earlier fights. Against Leroy Haley, he virtually gave away half of the first 6 rounds and then came back strong. But there's no denying it that he's been in trouble a few times.
And there's Smith staring at the ground again. Watch out for the right hand.
You know, the difference here, though, I think, is that Smith is hurting Billy Costello. I mean, he's not just stunning him, he is nailing him with shots.
And there's Costello with the left jab that has no impact at all on Smith, showing no respect for the champion.
Now, there Billy goes downstairs with the right, and I agree with Tom. He's got to try to work. Look at Ken Smith. He's looking away. He's looking in the right field somewhere. And you know he's going to show that right hand. Got to be very difficult to fight Smith when you see him looking away. You can't hit him, and tough.
Coming to the end of round 6, and once again, it has been Leighton and Lonnie Smith who has dictated the terms of this fight.
To win you. He's
back at Madison Square Garden, where Victor Valley
this guy is shooting his low.
trying to pull out all the stops for Billy Costello. His 4th WBC title defense has been lackluster at best now.
Come on, Billy.
It has indeed, and you can hear Valley trying to exhort him on.
Costello on our card has not won a round since the first. 2 through 6, according to our card at any rate, belongs to Lonnie Smith.
Well, I actually made the 4th even, but other than that, I agree with you.
He's been a more charitable fellow down through the years than I am.
That's probably true, Charlie.
That's Al Bernstein. I'm Charlie Steiner. Welcome to Madison Square Garden. Billy Costello in the blue trunks, defending his WBC super lightweight title. But he is in trouble tonight.
You know, even on the inside, though, he is now brawling and brawling pretty well with Billy Costello.
Not very many people knew of Lightning Lonnie Smith coming into this fight. For Billy Costello, this is his first primetime fight, his first defense outside of his native Kingston, New York, and it has been something less than stellar.
As this fight wears on.
Oh, a solid right hand by Smith. And once again, Costello is hurt.
He's in big trouble now. He was hurt with that left hook to the body, Billy Costello. Now they're telling Smith from his corner, calm down, don't get too wild. This isn't bad advice. Costello is powerful, he could still walk into something.
But Smith continues to dictate the tempo of this fight, throwing the punches when he wants to.
Billy Costello is walking into just about everything that Lonnie Smith is throwing. I tell you, Lonnie Smith came up with a pretty good one-liner this week. He said, I'm engaged to the super lightweight title. I'm getting married on August 21st. So far, the ceremony's going just as he planned.
Well, the bells are ringing.
Yeah, in Billy Costello's head.
And Smith's corner is about ready to throw some rice.
It is a very frustrating evening for Costello, and I think part of the problem is right there. He just can't land the left hook. Look at Smith. Oh, wow. He is a showman. He walks away. He's not even looking at Costello.
He's looking at us.
He's over here, and Costello doesn't throw a punch. That's the kind of effect Smith has on his opponent. I'll tell you, he is interesting. I said he was an enigma. I guess I was right.
He's bizarre.
Yeah.
Let it go, let it go, let it go. Come on, let it go, break.
Now, you saw a move by Smith. He even has a move which he tried to do there, where he uses the referee as a pick to get in between himself and the other fighter. He tried it there, but Rivera was too savvy to let him work it.
We're going to keep it here between rounds.
Big uppercut.
And now Smith appears to be off balance, albeit briefly. But again, the tempo of this fight being dictated by Lonnie Smith.
And this probably has been the most stale effort that Billy Costello has had since he burst upon the scene, winning the title several years ago. But a lot of that has to do with Smith. Good right hand.
Got nailed by Billy Costello. And that is the end of the 7th round. And once again, on our card, we have to give it to Lonnie Smith, even though he spent half the round looking at us, Al.
Let's hear what they're saying in there.
Now listen to me. Lonnie, I want your hands up. When you make that walk away, right? Watch yourself. Because this guy's frustrated. And he's jumping at you. He's coming at you any goddamn way he can. You understand what I'm saying? And you don't have to worry about it. All you got to do, pop that left hand, pop that left hand. Right?
Lonnie Smith landed this good right hand. It was a counter right that sent Costello reeling a little bit, then landed a left hook to the body after this exchange there. And Costello very nearly went down, was holding on to Smith, or it would have been a knockdown. See that exchange from yet another angle.
Solid right hand. And that body punch is really a crusher. Look at that.
It is, and there, I'm not so sure Costello's knee didn't touch. Hard to tell from that angle.
And so we begin round 8. With a significant upset in the making here at Madison Square Garden. The challenger, Lonnie Smith, 22-0-1 coming into this fight. And never really having fought a name opponent until tonight. Billy Costello never has tasted defeat. 30-0. This is 4th title defense.
During 1984, Lonnie Smith did fight some good journeymen. I mentioned Tom Baker, Forrest Winchester, Todd Longmire, Baker again, and Frank Montgomery. They're all pretty decent fighters. The kind of guys you do use to work your way to the top, but usually after that, there's a contender thrown in. Not so with Smith, but so far it looks like he didn't need that.
And Costello coming into the fight was perhaps looking ahead. He said it was his time for the big money fights. He wanted somebody like Pryor or Mancini or Arguello. And the question is that the 3 guys that he wanted were all spent bullets, or any of them going to fight anymore?
Well, you know, I remember the last time I did a fight in which a man was looking ahead to a fight with Pryor. That was Ray Mancini in his first Livingstone Bramble fight. And Ray, of course, lost that one, and there was no Pryor fight. Now, here's where Lonnie Smith is in the posture where he can do this. He's ahead in this fight. He can spin around doing this. Fans might boo, but what does he care?
Well, Costello landed with a right hand. He's off balance. He wasn't hit. And want to remind our stations locally that you will have the next 1-minute commercial break at the end of this round.
Again, the left hook, and the left hook's been in mothballs by Smith. He may have not thrown it for a couple of rounds so that he could come back with it against Costello. That's the kind of clever fighter Lonnie Smith is. Boy, he has got Billy Costello right where he wants him right now.
So, in essence, Smith was going with the fastball the first 3 or 4 rounds. Now he's coming back with the J. Oh! Costello is seized and down! Billy Costello on Queer Street.
I don't know. They will let it go. He doesn't want to fight. I don't think Billy Costello wants to
Thinking
fight.
about stopping the fight.
Rivera should be thinking about it. He's in trouble.
Costello is down, and that should do it. This fight is over. White and Lonnie Smith is the new WBC Super Lightweight Champion.
And there's some concern about Costello. I really believe that referee was about too late in stopping this fight. There's no question about it.
Costello is still down as Lonnie Smith is up on the shoulders of his corner.
I tell you, Rivera was not watching this fight. I'll tell you why. You could tell Costello did not want to continue. And he let Lonnie Smith come back in. We certainly hope Costello will be all right.
He is still down and being attended to.
Some of Billy Costello's fans, and they're concerned rightfully so.
Utter degeneration. Several busloads of his fans came down from Kingston, New York, some 90 miles to the north of Madison Square Garden. They are absolutely stunned.
Here's how it happened. The first knockdown. The right hook, the uppercut. Now, Billy Costello was in all kinds of trouble. He wobbled around the ring after this. He shook his head a couple of times as if, no, I don't want to continue. They let Smith come in now. Costello was in deep trouble. And now he's hurt with that right hand. The referee still doesn't step in, and Smith throws the uppercut. I hope Billy Costello will be all right. It will be no thanks to Rivera.
Let's watch it one more time, Al.
And again, you will see the finishing power of Smith. He is throwing wild shots, but there lands the overhand right. Going downstairs, he really was after Costello. Now, after this left hook, it's all over. Gets in another right uppercut. That would be the punch that did some damage. However, we're happy Billy Costello is up on his stool. Lonnie Smith, boy, oh boy, a dream that he has had for years is reality now.
A look of utter disbelief on the face of Lonnie Smith as he is the new super lightweight champion.
He is on the stool also. I think his climb up the ring post took something out of him, Charlie.
And this is the last thing that Billy Costello's people expected to happen. They just did not expect Lonnie Smith to come in with this kind of power.
That's Tom Hauser. Spent an awful lot of time with Billy Costello through the years. How do you suppose, Tom, he is going to respond to this thrashing that he took tonight?
It's a hard thing for any fighter to take, and it's his job. Most fighters lose. Ray Robinson, Muhammad Ali, they all lost and came back. And this is the sort of experience that'll let us find out what Bill Costello's made of. I think he'll be back in the gym pretty soon. He'll certainly want a rematch with Lonnie Smith as soon as possible, and maybe he'll go into that one with a different fight plan. Possibly he'll go to the body more. He might have been hurt by the fact that he didn't go to the body.
That's author Tom Hauser, who has covered the life and career of Billy Costello, and as you look at the face of Lightning Lonnie Smith, the new WBC Super Lightweight Champion. And we'll be back to Madison Square Garden after this word from our local station.